Muted. There, how's that? Can you hear me now? The little microphone was turned off. I'm not sure how that happened. That's the first time that's happened. Thank you for letting me know. Because I thought, oh, I don't have my wireless mic on, so it can't be that that ran out of batteries. Hello, Mama Juju. Welcome. So, I'll kind of back up. Oh, my video is distorted again. It seems really long. I don't know why it is doing that. Let's straighten it out a little bit. Oh well, we'll just have long pictures tonight. I think YouTube is just kind of messing with me. So, Laura's little bit of crafting. I'm coming to you as an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Yeah, sorry, it was a test to see if anybody was paying attention, right? I did a quickie reminder, although there was no sound, of these 2025 to 2027 in color products that are 15% off. There is a boatload of them on sale. So not just cardstock, not just ribbons and alcohol blends. There are designer series papers that have these colors in it. There are kits. There's scrapbooking stuff. There's just all kinds of stuff. Two-tone cardstock, just a ton of stuff. So I am going to use this Stay Warm. And I'm casing right out of what will be the catalog that's releasing in September. So if you're on my team or if you are a demonstrator on your own with another team, you have access to this new catalog. If you want access to the catalog and you don't have it yet, let me know. You can join my team. There's a ton of stuff that is on clearance. And one of the things I'm going to use tonight is silver 1/8 inch ribbon. So you get 2 spools of this. So one is silver and one is gold, obviously. It's $4.50. I just looked. So that one's half price. So let's just quickie do this card. I've got some thick basic white. I've got it 8.5 by 5.5. I'm scoring it at 4 1/4, of course. So I'm using just a standard card base. Let me get my bone folder here. Definitely go check it out. It's an awesome sale. All right. And we're going to do a little bit of this. And we are going to use these 2-step stamps. And I thought it said somewhere on here that they're 2-step, but you can tell anytime there's just a gray image with a detailed image, that means we use both sides of the stamp. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Let me just get my Pearson mat here because I'm using my photopolymer. And we are going to use Misty Moonlight. And first off, I am going to stamp it off because I want my background to be light. So I might need to re-ink this actually. So I'm just going to ink this up pretty good because I'm going to stamp it off so that I get the lighter color. And if it looks kind of tweedy, I'm all right with that because it's a sweater. And we're going to just go ahead and stamp that on here. And then I'm going to wash that off with my chamois. Oh, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty realistic. And then I'm going to flip this over so that we can use the detailed side now. Now this stamp, it's really wide on the bottom and it barely fits on my D block. But if you put it near the bottom of your block, it should be fine. All right. So let's go ahead and ink this up again. But we're inking up the other side now. And we're going to put our design in here. Hopefully this will be enough contrast. And I'm hoping it's going to look super cute. I did not make a prototype. I was stamping with Fifi earlier. I mean, we made a really cute card. Oh, look at that. Isn't that adorable? Yes, now you know what the gray means. Let me wipe this off again so that I don't get ink all over myself. And you can see I've got a bunch of stamps here, and that's going to kind of be for my second one. This one then, I cut an extra banner just in case, but I'm going to do this joy. And I only want the joy. I don't want the let. I want only joy. And we're going to go joy, joy, joy. Yay, I didn't mess it up. And I didn't drop my stamp on it. How about that? Can I hold it up? What part do you want me to hold up? The sweater? So the fill-in part is obviously when we had the back of the stamp. And then the detail comes on top. Now this one I can see there's, I probably inked it a little too much. No, that's how the stamp is actually. So the stamp, this is the flat side. And I'm not sure if I can get this to show up. But the photopolymer to hold the arms down is filled in here. So that's why there's some ink in here. You can see, hopefully. Hopefully that's what you were looking for. And then when you just flip it over so that you've got the normal flat side on the stamp, then that's how we get our design. So I could do the sweater part first with the design and then stamp off with, or you could just leave it a white sweater with the designs too. That's cute. You could also use a much lighter blue. Let me pull out, I think I've got balmy blue here. Let's see how it looks with balmy blue. And some of my ink pads need to be re-inked. So you'll have to decide what's easier for you, if you want to do the background first and then try to put the detail on, or if you want to put the detail first and then put the background on. It kind of looks the same result to me. All right, so I also thought we could do it in green and just see how that looks. But then I have to figure out different ribbons. But at least it would give you an idea of how it looks. So since I have this with the back side, I'm going to stamp this off again because I want it to be lighter. That's going to be dark on the shoulder, I guess. Ooh, that's really dark. And that didn't get ink on the side because of it. Well, I guess we won't be doing green tonight. I probably should have re-inked and tried it again. There, nobody will ever know except you ladies. It'll be fine. So then I'm just going to flip this over again. And usually I lay my stamps down on paper so that I can attach them better than just doing it by hand. My black was still a little wet from cleaning it. All right, so then we can ink this up again with the garden green. You can see all my scraps here. I know you'll never tell. You girls are awesome. Hopefully I've got this up high enough that you can see. All right, so this isn't probably as pretty as I would want this one for a finished card, but I think for tonight's sampling, it would be fine. You get the idea of the colors at least and how to use this stamp. What were you thinking the same exact thing for? And this I'll clean under my sink because I've got ink on both sides. So I'll clean it off better later. All right. So this one, at least you can kind of see the differences. So this was just the Misty Moonlight stamped off for the fill and full strength for the design. This was Misty Moonlight full for the design, and then Balmy Blue for the inside, stamped off. And then this is Garden Green. So, you know, where it's darker on the shoulder, I could always, you know, put a little banner or something over there. People aren't going to know. They're going to love it because it's a handmade card. All right. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one should we go with? I'm thinking the one in the middle, because this is the one that goes with the ribbon I pulled out. So we're going to go with that. Now, the other thing I want to do, as I mentioned, I'm using these metallic textures rub-ons. I'm going to put some snowflakes on here. And I don't know if you've seen me use these before. That got inside my paper here. But all you have to do with these is cut out what you want to use. And I'm going to take all of these little snowflake images here. And we're going to put some over here. And I have seen, actually somebody just commented today that I saw it. I think they posted it today. But these rub-ons, you can put them on and even put them with an embossing folder through your machine, and the design still remains intact. So then we'll do another snowflake here. Maybe this snowflake over here. We'll see if that's enough. All right. So all we do with these is, and I'm going to take my piercing mat out here. I don't think I need that anymore. All you have to do with this is peel off the backing. All right. So you can see where it all looks foilish, but there's like adhesive on where the design is. And all you need to do is rub it. And basically, this is a perfect product for people who do not want to buy all the things to do heat embossing. And that one's missing just a little piece in there, so part of our snowflake is going to be missing, but that's all right. All right. So your post-op was good? I had forgotten that it was your meniscus. I know you mentioned earlier that you had your follow-up today. All right, so let's see. Now, I don't know that this takes pressure as much as it does maybe heat from your fingers, because I tried doing this a couple of different ways with like my bone folder, and it didn't give me any better an impression than when I just used the heat from my finger. But look at that, isn't that slick? Yeah, knee surgery is horrible. I don't care if it's a replacement or just repairs. What do you think of that? I think that's pretty fun. Of course, part of this is getting... Maybe we'll go like this. We'll cover up part of the sweater. I don't want to cover up all those snowflakes because they're kind of fun. Maybe we should put the banner under the ribbon. On top of the ribbon or under the ribbon? What do you think? On top looks almost out of place to me. I think I like it under the ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder. Sometimes I think Tylenol and ibuprofen is better than some of those narcotics, quite honestly. Did they not, of course it wasn't really bone related. Sometimes they tell you not to take ibuprofen when you've got like a broken bone because it apparently inhibits the healing process. All right, let's put a little bit of glue on here, and I just curled up the banner tips a little bit. And oh, that's what I forgot. I've got my blue banner piece. Hang on. Hold up for just a second. Let me curl this one too a little bit. I almost forgot. I'm thinking that looks kind of plain. Yeah, opioids, I mean, if you don't need that kind of stuff, having been an EMT, if you don't really need it, don't take it. All right. Oh, there. That'll look better, I think. And then I'm just going to put glue all over the flat part of this. And then we'll kind of line it up to where I think this ribbon is going to go. And then I'm just going to flip this over because I'm going to use some seal. Yeah, I've had all kinds of different things where they gave me pain meds. Like I fractured my big toe. I actually shattered it. I fell and my foot went perpendicular to the floor. It was not pretty. And that was a long healing process. But they gave me a prescription and I'm like, well, I'm not going to take it. You can give it to me, but I'm not going to take it. Well, you might. No. So I never did fill the prescription. All right. And then I like to just put my tear and tape over the top. Just to kind of give it a little extra security. I don't want my ribbon coming loose. And then this is just going to go on here. And I'm thinking I might want that up on dimensionals. Let me get some more. I love it that I'm using all of my bones of my dimensionals. All of those edge pieces. All right, and I think I'll put just, well, let's just put that right there. Then I can get rid of another one. I feel so accomplished when I empty off one of my dimensional sheets. Well, I think they always give you a prescription because I don't know where you're at. If they have, there's what we call around here Press Ganey surveys. Cute. Excuse me. I think that's adorable. And I don't even know that I want to put any gems on there because can you see the shimmer from those rub-ons? That might be enough of a dimension. What do you think? So we could also do it in the green. I think the blue with that ribbon just looks really rich. Vicodin, yeah. Very shimmery, yeah. The Vicodin, do they even prescribe Vicodin as much anymore? I know they do the oxycodone. with acetaminophen quite a bit. So I had this too because I thought this would be really pretty. Oh, I do like that. I think I'm going to put that on there too. That'll be my other embellishment, will be my little ribbon here. I already did it in my little bow maker contraption. We're just going to put that on there because I think it looks pretty. And then we'll trim these edges a little bit more. Oh, is that? Is oxycodone the same? See, as an EMT, we don't prescribe those things. I just looked it up in my book. My little med book. You forget stuff after you retire, too. There. I do like this. So this is basically cased out of what's going to be in the catalog. So in just a few short weeks. Very fun. All right, so let's put these away because we're done with these. I am not using them on the next card. And I do like the blue. I think it's really rich. And as far as this banner, I use the smallest one from these new banner dies. Party banners. Yeah, party banners dies. So I use the smallest one there, and I just cut it. You know, I gave myself an extra one just in case I messed up. And then I did the Misty Moonlight. So I think that's fun. Fun card. All right, and I love this ribbon. This ribbon is just absolutely gorgeous. So card number 1. Let's go to card number 2, which is going to be more of an experiment because there's more things to do with it than I was really thinking about. So let me get this out of the way. So here I'm using Balmy Blue, and of course I've got my 8.5 by 11. I scored it at 5.5 and I cut it at 4.25 because I'm doing a landscape card. Because some of my designs are going to go sideways, and I'm going to save this for another project. Pardon me, I had to do a little water break. So this is our two-tone red. This is the real red two-tone cardstock. And when I looked at the other side, I don't know if you can see that. Percocet is generic. Okay. See, my dad was on all of those, so that must have been before they had generics because he's older than me, obviously. So, if you can see this, this is the real red two-tone cardstock. When you flip it over to the light side, that's like the stamped off version. I thought that was kind of pink-ish. But when I took my real red and stamped it off, it does actually look kind of pink. So the darker side on the two-tone cardstock is the true color, and then the alternate side or the back side is the stamped off color. All right, so I'm planning on maybe using this. This I just brought in for visual aid. And I think what I'm going to do is cut my ribbon so that I can have it extending on both sides, and I might cut this a little bit smaller. And we're going to do some stamping on our cardstock. We're going to kind of make our own little DSP. Weren't we talking about that earlier, Fifi? Doing your own DSP. So I'm going to start with these little mittens because I think they're adorable. And we're just going to kind of go across at an angle. We'll see how this works. And I should probably put my ink to my left since I'm left-handed. And then we have some little socks. Those are pretty cute. And we'll just take this right up here, just as kind of a guide to keep my diagonal going the same. And I'm going to stamp those off a little bit. Aren't those cute? I'm just going to put a little toe on there. And then put some more socks over here. That works. And then we'll put some more mittens up here. Now this is tone on tone because this is balmy blue and this is balmy blue ink. And then I suppose we should try to do, we'll just kind of fill this in so that it doesn't look like anything's missing. And then maybe another toe. There, that'll be good. All right, so I'll get these out of the way. And then I can get this out of the way. Sorry, I'm such a messy stamper. We are going to do this. Peace, love, and joy. But I think I want to do this on white because in my head, I'm thinking I want to cut the letters out individually, or the words out individually. So let's put these up here. That looks good. And I may as well leave this out because there's a heart on here too that I think is adorable. I used every stamp from this set. All right, so I'm going to stamp this a second time just because I'm going to flip this over. I know I've been anxious to use this set. I got this in Raleigh. I think it was a prize patrol. So here we're going to go like this. I'm going to stamp off. And let's see which one we like better. That's kind of cute. Maybe I'll use them both. One filled in, one not filled in. I'll leave this out too because we're going to do the little hat in red. Do another one of those. And then let's do some Misty Moonlight. We're just winging it, can you tell? All right, so I'm going to do the design, full strength, and then I'm going to do a Night of Navy, full strength, and we'll see which ones we like better. And then let me clean this off again, and we are going to flip this over so we can do our two-sided stamping. Yeah, I definitely need to re-ink. Definitely need to re-ink. Look at that. I love it. And then let's see what the Night of Navy looks like. Oh, one other thing I was going to do is, I wonder if I put that one away. I thought I had my Secret C out. So if we stamp Secret C off 2 times, you end up with cloud cover. That's really dark. There we go. Oh, I like that too. So this is Night of Navy and this is Misty Moonlight. let's close those. And then we're done with that. We're done with that. Did that one. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting here. Let me get rid of some of my debris. All right, so this is going to come here somehow. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this ribbon now, because this is going to go. Now this is a new ribbon too. The Night of Navy it's like a richer color. And I'm actually going to use them both, I think. But this is a new ribbon too. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but it's really pretty. I got just a sample of that at a demonstrator event that Shannon West had for us the first part of August, I think. All right, so let me trim my words out here. So with these, instead of using the two-step stamping on this, I used my alcohol blends because I wanted to see the difference in the colors. So this is light real red. This is Flirty Flamingo, the dark version, and this is light Strawberry Slush. They are all so close in color. So I used the light real red and dark Flirty Flamingo and kind of blended them a little bit. But I'm going to do some fun stuff with Wink Estella, I think, on our hats. And I think I'll do it on this one. All right. I could have had this planned out a little bit better, but I was busy making a, what was that called? A tunnel card? A pillar card? Fifi, I don't remember what we called that. I think that's a little crooked. So here's the card I did tonight with Fifi earlier. That was fun. So we may be doing that here later. Not later today, but another day later in the future. Yeah, that red ribbon is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I'm going to trim these down a little closer. The pillar card, is that what it was called? Yeah, the pillar card, okay. Couldn't remember if it was a tunnel or a pillar. I was too busy measuring and cutting. Oh, there we go. All right, so here I'm going to just cut my words apart in my ampersand sign because those are going to go on here somehow. And I can get rid of my trimmer. And I am going to do some real red. And I like to put ink on my block. I do not squeeze my ink pads and put ink in here because I have some OCD tendencies and it messes with me. So what I am going to do is pull up some Wink Estella here, and look at that gorgeousness. We're going to make very shimmery hat here as our star component. And I think we'll put a little shimmer down here as well. Do you ever do that with your Wink Estella? I got kind of heavy on the Wink Estella here, so we'll kind of spread that out. And I think what I'll do is I'll just dabble a little bit of it here. Oh, lots of OCD issues for you too, huh, Fifi? It's just, yeah, and Yeah, I like things linear, but I'm also messy, but it doesn't mean I'm disorganized. Okay? Um, all it means is that I'm creative, right? I can usually tell you what pile things are in if I need to. What do you think of that? I might need to dab some of that off because my Wink of Stella got really heavy. I just get so excited using Wink of Stella, I guess I didn't realize I was going quite so crazy with it. So let me find my paper towel. And there we go. The red's already out there. All I did was wipe it on my paper towel. Yeah, I think we're kindred spirits a little bit there, Fifi. So I kind of lost my pom-pom things in here, but I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot. And I think I'm going to go with some dark. Let me go get Bubble Bath. I think maybe a light Bubble Bath. We'll see. I can always make it darker if I want. I'm going to use the brush end, I think. I think this will be fine. And I use my alcohol blends more than I use markers. And it's not even always because I'm going to be blending. It's just that's what I use. It dries pretty good. All right, so let's do a little bit of fussy cutting here. I know it's kind of painful to watch me fussy cut because I don't feel like I'm a good fussy cutter. I would rather have a punch or a die. But sometimes you just have to do what you gotta do, right? And I got a little bit of big around there, a little big border. I'll have to trim that more. Sometimes I get a little too close. And then sometimes I'm too far away. That's really not too bad. There. And I think if I had cut these out on a little bit bigger sections of my scrap, it'd be easier to work with. I cut them kind of small, so there's not as much to hold on to move the paper. All right, so there's those. I'm not sure that I like that. My pom-pom got really, maybe I'll just be able to cover part of it up with something else. We'll see. It got a little saturated. Luckily, these are pretty straight designs. They're pretty straightforward to do my fussy cutting with, which is always a joy. Who likes to fussy cut? Yeah, one of the gals on my team just loves to fussy cut. She said that's relaxing. I do not agree. I'm going to leave that on there. It's not that it's stressful, it's just not relaxing. Got a little close to my pom-pom. So we'll just go a little closer all the way around that one. All right, we're getting there. So Fifi, you do not like fussy cutting. How about you, Mama Juju? Oh, you don't either. Huh. So who initiates the fussing cutting? Your colleagues then? I do not know very many people who like to fussy cut. I think just that gal that's on my team likes to fussy cut. She's pretty good at it too. She just flies through it. And I have seen demonstrators that just whiz through fussy cutting. Not me. But we're getting there. I'm almost done. And then we're just going to lay these puppies on this card randomly and see how it looks with our little homemade DSP. Yeah, the demos that was through the fussy cutting. I'm kind of impressed, but maybe it's because they're far enough away from the camera and it just makes it look really good. So let me see if I can just, we'll be like one of those really fancy fussy cutting demos and see, maybe if I don't think about it as much, it'll go better. How was that? I think maybe I just try too hard to do it really nice. Maybe that's my problem. And I'm going to keep that little bit of scrap because that'll be good for another sentiment another time. All right. Let's see how this is going to look. So if we just randomly put some of our hats around here. And I love the little hearts. And we're going to go peace, love, and joy. What do you think? Or peace, love, and joy. I think maybe all across the top. What do you think? And some of these we'll put on dimensionals. Maybe I have too many hats. Do you think it's too crowded or is it all right? I'm going to start putting some dimensionals on these because I know that's going to happen. So this is loosely cased from the catalog. I looked at it briefly earlier because I was trying to decide what I wanted to make. I didn't cut that one all the way through. Yeah, it'll look better with the dimensionals, I agree. Dimensionals just really do something to the cards. All right. So, peace, love, and joy. And then some of these are going to be kind of flat. So let's go ahead and attach this ribbon on here. Because I like that little shimmeriness. And I guess this one could be out just a little further. All right, let's do a little tear tape there too. And then I think we're gonna do this flat, so I'm just gonna put more tear and tape on here. Then I don't have to use glue. There we go. The struggle is real. All right, so this will go down here. Scooch it over just a little bit. There we go. That's pretty well centered. Let's go ahead and put these on because I kind of like the placement of those. I'm so quiet. Peace, love, and joy. Pretty. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead with this one. Oops. That one will go flat. And then we'll put this one up on dimensionals. And this one we'll do flat as well. That's the one where you can tell my Wink Stella got really thick. But we're going to camouflage that with the heart, I think. Yeah. And then this one we'll put flat as well. And we'll put that up here maybe. And then dimensionals for these guys. It's coming together. Should probably have gotten my take your pick tool to take those backings off. Sometimes it goes much faster for me that way. We'll go like this. And then let's put our hearts up on dimensionals there. I'm going to put these together, I think. Yeah, that'll work. So let's just put a little bit on this side. I usually work with glue. But I don't mind the seal. A lot of people don't like it at all, but I think once you get past the learning curve, thank you, Fifi. Once you get past the learning curve on technique, I think it goes really, I think it does a really nice job. So those might be a little high now, but if I put some, maybe if I put some gems on here, let's do some rhinestones, or we could do those, or let me find my rhinestones. I know I had another package of those. Here we go. We could do candies, which I think might be really cute, or rhinestones. What do you think? Rhinestones. Or candies. Those are on there pretty good. The peppermints might be a little busy, you're right, because there's a lot going on here already. So let's do the rhinestones. So we'll put, I did get that one. I think we're gonna do 5 of them. How does that look? I think the bling helped balance it out a little bit, hey? And then I can just do a red layer inside, or a white layer inside, maybe bordered with red, real red, and then maybe stamp a hat, or maybe mittens. I love those mittens, they're adorable. All right, so that's what I have for you tonight. Cased cards from the catalog. Nothing wrong with that, right? Case away. So, Stay Warm is the set. Peace on Earth. This is coming out new. I don't think it's out yet. I think that's coming out in the September catalog as well. This ribbon, you really need. Silver edged ribbon. Misty Moonlight. You really need this. It's gorgeous. Well, thank you everybody for popping in. I know there's a few people watching that didn't either log in. You can't comment if you're not logged in, obviously. I appreciate everybody popping in. Let's see, what else did I use? Oh, for here I used just the word joy from this Sweet Bloom set. So a lot of things put together that aren't necessarily Christmas or winter, but they work. So look at things you have, and see what works together. They don't have to be the same theme if that's got one element from one item and another element from something else. You'd be amazed at how things come together. Oh, and don't forget this ribbon, this gold and silver 1/8 ribbon, $4.50. You get 2 spools. I don't know if it says how long these spools are. 2 spools, 10 yards. So I don't know if that's 10 yards on each spool. There's a lot of ribbon on here. So get yourself some stuff off the last chance list. Thank you for popping by. I appreciate it. Let me do my little, oh, hello, Nicole. Were you here the whole time? I didn't see you commenting. So thanks for popping in. And if you missed it, just go back and do the replay. And I'm gonna just put my little comment on here. Thanks for joining me. It makes it more fun when there are people to share the creativity with. So until next time, you crept in late. Well, thanks for creeping in. I appreciate it. All right. Until next time, ladies, happy crafting.